What's up, no, I'm not that guy, I'm sorry. God, imagine being that guy on YouTube. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the stream. I don't know why I have to do it with an American accent. I think it's pretty obvious because most of the people that I know that do that are American. Anyway, I'm in a positive mood today, and it's kind of weird because the thing that I was jumping on to talk about was just how crazy the journey of entrepreneurship really is, ups and downs. I'm dressed like a lollipop lady right now. This t-shirt's dirty, I think, because I'm going for a run. I promise this is clean. I need to run it through a thicker wash. I don't know what the word is. I'm going for a run in a bit before it gets dark outside. It's so dark at the moment, isn't it? It's crazy. It's like perpetual nighttime in the UK. I just wanted to talk about how crazy entrepreneurship is, because obviously this is what this channel is about pretty much anyway. It's talking about the ups and the downs, and sometimes more of the downs than the ups, frankly. But that's what I wanted to dive into, because this year has been one of the toughest years of my life, work-wise, personally, all around. And for many reasons. Many people will know about, many people won't, but it is still crazy that I'm continuing to do this. Any normal, sane person would probably have just given up by now and gotten a job. But the difference between someone that succeeds in business and someone that doesn't is that fine line of delusion versus confidence that something's going to work. And success is arguable anyway. What really is the definition? If you get to do what you want for a living, and it pays your rent, then is that not success? Potentially. But we've been through this year with a tiny amount of runway the whole time, which weighs on your mind. And this is the first piece of advice I'll give here for anybody watching, which is, if you're going to build something, everybody will talk about, hey, go all in, throw it all in, go for it. Building something when you are stressed about bills is harder than you can imagine. The opportunity cost wasted by not having some sort of financial stability and solidarity whilst building something is huge. If you're worried about paying the rent at the end of the month, the ability to build the business will be powered purely by stress. Which can be a good thing, but if it's done over too long a period, then that turns into burnout, and burnout's not good. I think I've been burnt out for a long time. I always kind of saw burnout as this thing that crept up on you and then happened. I think I've actually had it. I think I've been having it. I think that's existed for probably multiple years now, and I didn't even realize it. It ended up manifesting as procrastination, as resting on my laurels, as being complacent, and I think I'm moving past it now. There are days that are bad, there are still days that are really bad and really down, but there are days like today where something small can happen and it can really ignite your ambition and your confidence and your motivation for building everything once again. Now, that probably won't last. It might last a couple of days. I'm going to try and make it last as long as possible. Forever would be ideal, but at some point next week probably I'm going to have a down day again, and it's just the way that it goes. It's the cycle that we commit to in the jobs that we do. As founders, as side hustlers, as entrepreneurs, whatever you want to call us, as rebels. And some of the things that can really motivate you can be really crazy. Like for me, I was just doing some design work for a client, and ended up kind of playing around with my own design work afterwards. And just came up with some new merchandise ideas for a brand that has no budget to fund a merchandise arm right now. We do need some t-shirts for the meetup hosts and for ourselves though, for when we go to events. So we'll probably find some money for that. But I was playing around with some concepts, and I was like, shit, I love this stuff. This looks amazing. And I'll show you this at some point. Maybe I'll be wearing it in the next video. I don't know. But I was like, this looks amazing. And then from there, the ability for your brain to just go from that to, okay, well, what does that mean? What does that look like as a company? If that's what we're wearing, and do we have a genuine angle for merchandise, and how would we sell that merchandise? Would we sell it through all the channels that we would have that were matured, and maybe even this channel one? People would be wearing it, and we'll create a community and a cult-like brand that people could follow in the same way that they do for Nike or Gymshark or Yes Theory, for example, on YouTube. Like, and all of the ideas that flood from that, and all the momentum and motivation that flood from that, power the next, in my case, 24 hours. For the last 24 hours, I've been pretty buzzing about the stuff we've been working on. We've had some amazing feedback about the meetups we've been running, both from speakers, guests, and hosts. I've had some emails in from people that are wanting to kick off some work in January, hopefully, fingers crossed, which puts us in a much different place, a much better place than we've been for this year. And all of that adds up, and it's making me go, okay, who can I put in what areas? And we've got people that want to volunteer to help us because the mission that we've got is so poignant and visceral for people that they really relate and they want to help too. And that adds up to real world proactivity. I haven't been for a run this week, I don't think. I didn't go yesterday. I was literally inside my apartment for at least 36 hours and I hadn't left. And I just didn't feel like I wanted to engage with people. I wasn't in a people mood at all. It takes a mask for me to put that on. This is a mask. My YouTube channel is a mask. I'm not always exactly like this. Yesterday, this wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have been the same person. Maybe I should do it then too. In theory, I would love to, but feeling motivated to start clicking record when you're feeling down is a hard thing to do. So I'm doing all these things because I basically played around in Figma, some design software. I put a little design together that I shared and people also resonated with. They were like, I love this, is this going to be on some merchandise? What does this mean? So who knows, but that journey of just kind of ups and downs all the way through for the last year, for the last 10, is permanence. That's what we commit to when we take on the role of being a founder, an entrepreneur, a managing director, an owner of something that is intended to be a commercial entity. We, whether we like it or not, embody the stress of a whole company and its ability to succeed or its possibility to fail, and we take that personally whether we like it or not. I know I do. And when you're in good times, it's easy to say, well, I'll just position myself away from that and it will be objective from now on, and I'll make sure that I don't take it too seriously. But then a bad time happens and you forget that you ever had that conversation with yourself, and you've got some sleepless nights, you wake up in cold sweats, you can't even sleep in the first place. That stuff adds up. But that happens. That will always happen all the way through on certain times. Whether it's weekly, whether it's monthly, whether it's quarterly, whether it's annually, it will probably happen at some point, and it won't stop happening. It will keep happening until you're out of that, and that's just the way life is, I guess, in any job. So yeah, I just wanted to bring up that really and kind of share this with you guys. I mean, I'm doing these videos to camera that aren't being uploaded as quasi-therapy that maybe I'll share one day of me just talking about how good things are and how rubbish things are. But I wanted to do this one, which is a version of that, but publicly with you, to share some thoughts and some feelings. I'm really excited about the next year. If we make it, if we survive long enough, which is such a crazy thing to say, but like that's the way businesses are. And sometimes some biggest businesses in the world that we know of are living kind of hand to mouth as well. I mean, JGB Sports is somewhere I bought my football boots from every single year until the pandemic hit, and then the pandemic basically made them go bankrupt. Toys R Us obviously went bankrupt, got rebought luckily, and yeah, it's just some of the companies that we would put at the top tier are actually not far off of being bankrupt. WeWork is a very recent example of that. So if we make it, which hopefully we will, because we've been around for 10 years now, and if I proved anything, it's that, touch wood, I'm not trying to jinx myself or the company here, but I refuse to die, which is a good starting point at least. The job that I have is when January and February and Q1 comes, and we hopefully land the deals and the jobs and the contracts and the support that we've been angling for over the last quarter, what we then do with the revenue that comes in, and then I get to play CEO again. Right now I'm playing wartime CEO. How not to die, how to battle in the trenches, how to be someone that can drive a company forward, and not only how can I motivate myself by seeing something that's possibly slightly delusional to give me the motivation to drive something forwards, but how can I motivate others by using that energy and shouting about it on YouTube or sharing it on LinkedIn or emailing the team on Gmail or Slack. How do I do that and get everybody else motivated and excited to build this thing? I think I'm good at that. I think I can be better at that, and that's something that I'm going to be developing over the next year. But yeah, you know, if and when this work kind of lands, then I switch into proactive mode. How do I budget that and how do I spend that? And that's something that I'd love to share with you guys too. You know, what is the strategy that's going into hopefully building a company out of the insanely wide foundations that we've built, the insanely deep foundations that we've built, that's just waiting for a bit of an empire to grow on top of it. And I said this year was going to be the year I did that. I'm not going to be too hard on myself. I don't think it was laziness that stopped that from happening. I think it was complacency powered by burnout that I didn't realize was a thing. I think it was a harsh economy. The UK isn't the best place to be building anything right now, it feels. More talented people than I've ever seen have been looking for jobs this year. So it's been tough, and therefore I'm not going to take it too hard on myself. Whether I should or shouldn't, it makes me feel better, and I have the ability to build a better company if I just don't take responsibility for that directly. I didn't do it knowingly anyway. So yeah, big old brain dump, and I'm just like probably going off on a million tangents here. I don't know whether having like very likely intense ADHD is a good thing for filming YouTube videos. I probably talk a lot of shit, but maybe it makes for good content. I don't know. I should probably come up with scripts for these, at least little talking points that keep me on track. But for now, I just think it's good to share with you where my brain's at, sometimes the 14 places my brain is at the same time, and the fact that I'm thinking about what I'm going to have for dinner, and the fact that I need to be out on the pavements in a minute. And there's a song playing in the background of my head that I don't know the name of, all at the same time. Yeah, I don't know if that makes for good content or if it's annoying, but either way, you know what's going on in my head right now, roughly speaking. You know that I've been thinking about the journey of an entrepreneur up and down, and hopefully you can take from this content that if it's a job that you're looking to undertake, you're looking to start a company or build something, you are opting for a journey that is bumpy by default and will always be. It's never going to be easy, regardless of the start that you have at it. So yeah, if you're crazy enough to dive in, then come join us, get involved in building something, and I mean that just generally. But if you do want support to go and do that, then drop me a line. I'm an active mentor and advisor for startups, and I'm happy to help people wherever I can. I do that in a formal capacity on a regular basis. We of course have the different community that you can join to develop your soft skills, your critical skills, and I think they're going to be incredibly valuable next year, which I'll touch on in another video too. I actually might film that one right now, so you're just going to see 2 videos of me wearing the same stuff, but yeah, I think that's something that needs to be spoken about too. Look guys, I'm going to leave you. Thank you for tuning in for this video, and I will speak to you in the next one. Peace.